Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. I hope that all of you are having a great week so far, staying healthy, studying lots. Students, today we are looking at IELTS Speaking Part 1. We are going to be talking about work and study, one of the most popular topics for the IELTS speaking interview. Welcome Carolina, our chat moderator. Hi Fuang, welcome Yani, welcome to our members, and good to see many students. Welcome Akusoa, Black Panther, Cristiano. Nice to see all of you here with me today. Students, this lesson, as usual, is brought to you by aehelp.com. For academic IELTS, visit us there. For general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. Those are our websites to help you improve for your next IELTS exam, and they are the websites that we use in these live classes day in, day out. So to get all the materials, the practice tests, the interactive course, lesson strategies, app for your phone, that's definitely where you want to go. This is what our academic IELTS website looks like at aehelp.com. We will use this website today to speak with our viewers and practice some of these IELTS Speaking Part 1 questions. You can join our premium IELTS package by clicking this big red button there that's just above my head. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. It's definitely worth it, doesn't cost much, and we are world leaders when it comes to IELTS test preparation. We are an IDP affiliate, British Council partner, IELTS Test Registration Center. I'm a certified British Council agent, and we have been training for IELTS for almost 20 years. AR Fly, new students, welcome. Nice to see you. All right, Yanni, good luck on your IELTS exam this Sunday. You don't need to be anxious, just be yourself. Remember, the sun will shine tomorrow. Students, our general IELTS website looks like this. It's gieltshelp.com. And again, you just click this big red button to join the premium IELTS package. When you do that, you can make payment. Again, doesn't cost very much. And here's a little extra help. You can use the code MARK9, M-A-R-K-9, for an extra 10% discount. So giving you all the help we can to make sure that you get a great score and improve on your speaking and communication skills. So Mark9, 10% discount. Again, you've got apps. The apps for those websites are Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. You can get those apps from your app store and link them to the websites for mobile learning. IELTS_AE Help, Instagram, GIELTS Help, Instagram. That's where you can see the live class schedules, some really cool reels for vocabulary building. So we've got lots of help there for you. And if you have questions, feel free to send me an email. We love to get questions. My email is adrian@aehelp.com, or you can also send your email to admin@aehelp.com. So either one of those places for emails. Yeah, we've got lots of classes this week. So we've got Speaking Part 1 right now. It's an everybody chat. Tomorrow we will have reading for members. And then we will have listening Part 3 and Part 4 practice and strategy for our YouTube channel subscribers. So definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that bell, get your notifications on the phone. And then on the 22nd, we'll have some more speaking, Part 2 and Part 3 as well. All right. Huang says, break a leg, Yanni. You will pass with flying colors. Look at all those idiomatic expressions, Huang. That's right. Break a leg means good luck. And flying colors means a very great score. Again, no pressure, Yanni. Just be yourself. All right, students, if you want to check out one of our latest videos on YouTube, check this one out. We just released it at the end of last week, so it's there for you. I'll put that into the chat for all of you. There you go. And now let's get into part one, speaking. Students, IELTS, speaking, the interview, 12 to 15 minutes, okay? So it's quick. It starts and then it finishes fairly quickly. You don't need to be nervous. Just be confident. Be yourself. Speak loudly. Speak clearly. This is not a chit chat. It's not a job interview either. Okay, it's a professional conversation. So that's what you need to remember when you're heading into your IELTS speaking. This is a professional conversation, okay? And what does that mean, right? So what does a professional conversation mean? It means you must use polite language and present the information to the best of your ability, okay? So, you know, when you're having a conversation with an English as a second language teacher, sometimes the answers are really short. Sometimes you ask your teacher for a little bit of help. It's not like that in the IELTS, okay? IELTS is not an ESL test. It's not an English as a second language exam. It's an English proficiency exam. Native English speakers also take the IELTS. There's actually quite a few native English speakers that have taken the IELTS. The goal here is to just present your best English, okay? So present your best English with the best of your knowledge, okay? What does that mean? That means that you must focus on accurate answers that stay on topic, okay? What's a good strategy to do that? So if I ask you to talk about your favorite subject to learn in school, okay? So today's part one topic will be about work and study. So if I ask you about your favorite subject to learn in school, what's a good strategy or what's a good way to make sure that your answer kind of stays on topic and that you focus on topic? Okay. Young Green saying, sir, provide us with a free speaking class. That's exactly what you are in, Young Green, for. You are in a free speaking class. We will speak with our students in this class. Many of you who are regular students know that. We will have volunteers and we will actually have speaking. So I want you to think. This is a thinking class, everyone. It's not just me going, yeah, blah, 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 for an hour and a half. I'd like to think that we're interacting as much as possible. And so how do you focus on giving an accurate answer to stay on topic? Akira says practice. Yeah, that's okay. Absolutely. So practicing to stay on topic, sure, I'll take that, Akira, why not? It's not the main strategy, but it's a good strategy. So practice before the exam to stay on topic, sure. What else? Stay calm. Harry Jott says stay calm. Yeah. There's another, I mean, I have said this before, this strategy, and I say it quite often to students, so you should know this. So Yanni says cohesion and coherence. Yeah. Yeah, Masala, you can apply for rechecking your speaking score if you're not happy with it. Okay. All right. So the most important is use the question in your answer. Okay. So paraphrase it whenever possible. Okay. So for example, if the question is, what is your favorite school subject? Okay, so if that's the examiner's question, then your answer should start with that question and paraphrasing it. So the subject that I enjoy the most in my school is math, because I'm very good with numbers, and I love that it is the universal language. I even do math for fun at home. Okay, so notice that I'm starting with the question that's being asked. So the question is, what is your favorite school subject? And then I say the subject that I enjoy the most. So this part and this part are basically the same. So this helps me to not only build fluency, but also to stay on topic. Okay, thumbs up, everybody. So those candidates who use the questions for their answers, especially those who paraphrase the questions for their answers, they get better band scores than those candidates who don't. Always, because it creates coherence, it creates accuracy. Okay, so you need to keep that in your mind when you're going into the IELTS exam, and you need to practice that while you are preparing for your IELTS exam. Okay, Scorpio says thumbs up. All right, good. So remember that, okay? So use the question in your answer. All right, don't forget to do that. Okay, and don't introduce the question. So here I'm going to add a don't do, because I know that some people get bad information from the internet and from some teachers. So here's a don't do. Okay, do not generalize the question. Okay, like there are many subjects that I like in school, such as biology, chemistry, but the one I like the most. Okay, don't do that. It's a do not do that. Okay, IELTS examiners don't like it. It wastes time. They don't have 20-30 minutes for you to generalize all your answers, so don't do that. Okay, all right, you have to be specific answers that focus on the question, get the high band scores. Okay, so make sure that you're focused. All right, now when you're in your IELTS speaking, so when you go and do your interview, again, it's a 12 to 15 minute interview, so you show your best English right away. Always be fluent from the very beginning. Speak loudly and confidently. Okay, take a couple of deep breaths and off you go. Okay, the examiner is just another human, and to them you are really just a number. They'll even read it out. They'll say this is candidate number 7789514. That's who you are, even though you introduce yourself. And it seems like a personal conversation. It's not. It's just like your driving test, okay? So it's like your driving test. There's nothing personal about it. Okay? So keep that in mind. You're just there to do a job. You go, it's like you're auditioning, right? You go, you audition, you leave. Okay? Blessing Chirunga says, am I allowed to carry a bottle of water? That's a really good question, and I want to answer that, okay? Because there is something interesting about that question. So Blessing Chirunga just asked this in the chat. I just copied it over directly. So this was by Chirunga. Am I allowed to carry a bottle of water? The answer to your question, charanga, and it's a good question, is yes. But you must take all the labels off. It must be clear, okay? It must be a clear bottle of water. And to add to that, it is a very good idea. Some people are like, oh, I don't need to drink because then I'll have to go to the washroom, or I'm not going to get thirsty. No. It's a security item. It's good to have, okay? So it must be a clear bottle of water. I strongly recommend it. It is a good idea to bring water with you for a couple of reasons. It can be used to A, calm you down, B, help you speak better if you get cotton mouth, or cotton mouth is dry mouth, or an itchy throat. Right? Dry, itchy throat, cough. All right. It can also help you to keep your hands on the table with an open body posture. Okay. So it's kind of like a security, or not a security, it's like a security device. It helps you to build confidence, okay? So taking that bottle of water with you is good. And people do tend to get dry mouth when they get nervous. So you should have a bottle of water, and it's absolutely okay to take a sip of water as you're speaking, okay? They tell you that for those very reasons, that they don't want you to feel uncomfortable. And what if you actually get thirsty, right? Especially speaking part 2. You're speaking for 2 minutes. It could be a good idea to take a sip of water after speaking part 2. It is probably a good idea to take a few sips of water after part 2, the cue card, the long part. Okay? These little things, it's all of those little pieces that enable you to get a better band score, okay? All right, so let's get into IELTS speaking part 1. So you go to your interview and you go there 1 hour before so that you can practice with other candidates who are there waiting. You approach a candidate and you say, hey, are you here for the IELTS speaking exam? And I'm sure they will say, yes, I am. Do you have time to practice a few questions with me just so that we can get our brains going in English? And I'm sure some people will say, yeah, I think that's a great idea. Let's do it. Find a spot, ask a few questions. Then 20 minutes before your exam starts, before your interview begins, you go, you register. Keep speaking English only to everybody. Even if they speak another language to you, just say, I'm here for an English exam. I'm just speaking in English. Okay, so stay in English. And then you walk into the interview. There is an examiner like myself, a woman or a man, native speaker, could be British, could be American, could be Canadian, could be a non-native English speaker just with excellent English. And then they will say, welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. I will give you instructions for each of the 3 parts. I'm recording this for marking purposes. This is Exam Center 77YQ and candidate number 9957842 and examiner number 9951. Now we shall begin. While the examiner is giving all of those instructions, remember your strategies. Use the question in your answers, give explanations, and give examples, okay? And then the examiner will basically always start with this question. They will either ask your name or your ID first, but it will be one of those two in either order, okay? So let's start with this one first. May I see your identification, please? Okay, so give me a nice full sentence answer. You want to be fluent from the beginning, so full sentence answers right off the bat. Okay, Steve Thompson says, certainly here's my credentials that I have used to register for the IELTS. Please have a look. Yeah, and as long as you're showing your credentials, that's great. So very good, Steve, with 2 E's. Okay. Now, students, this is speaking, so make sure to speak and repeat. So copy my English. I speak with a West Coast North American accent. This is kind of the Hollywood accent, Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego, Seattle, Vancouver. I'm in Victoria. We're all kind of West Coasters, and we speak with this West Coast style accent. There's small differences between these places that I just named, but we kind of all sound the same or very similar anyway. So speak and repeat. It's one of the most recognizable accents, one of the clearest accents for English in the world, simply because it's a crisp accent. So we really announce our vowels and our syllables, and it's very familiar to people because of Hollywood movies. So speak and repeat. Copy what I say, copy how I say it. Okay, so again, just repeat, even questions. May I see your identification? Certainly, here's my credentials that I have used to register for the IELTS. Please have a look. Yeah, and Steve, I like how you said I have instead of I've, so don't contract in the beginning, just really announce each word. So I have used, okay, good. Divya says, yes, gladly. Here's my passport that I used for online IELTS registration about a month ago, and here's the credentials page. Please take a look. Divya, it's good. It's a bit long. Make sure you can say that really nice and fluent so the examiner does not interrupt you, okay? Examiners will interrupt you if you sound like you're too chatty and you're going off topic, so be careful about that, okay? Charanga, yes, sure. Here it is. Please have a look. It's okay. Yep. Just don't make it too short, okay? Don't do this, okay? Don't say yes here, or I think one of the more common ones is yes, sure. And then the student just holds it out. Yes, sure. It's like, really? That's your professional communication is yes, sure? It's okay in everyday life, but yes, sure? Well, no, it's a bit short, okay? You need to be fluent. All right, so lots of different ways to say it. Do not make mistakes for these first few answers. It looks really bad. If you make mistakes, it doesn't just show lower English, it shows something else. What else does it show if you make mistakes for these first few questions, like what's your full name, do you work or study? If you make mistakes with these questions, what does that show the examiner? What do you think? So if you make mistakes with the first 3 to 4 introductory questions, it doesn't just show a low level of English, it also shows that, what? What does it show? If you're making grammatical mistakes or word choice mistakes or pronunciation mistakes with your answers here, it doesn't just show a low level of English. It shows something else as well. And whenever I'm examining students, I think about this. I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, Kira says it shows that they didn't really prepare for the exam. Yeah, and it sets a really bad context for the rest of it, okay? So it doesn't just show a low level of English, but it also shows that the student didn't really prepare. Because any student who prepared at least 1 or 2 months ahead and practiced some speaking sections, came to a YouTube channel like this, they will know, they will have practiced this, so they will know this, okay? And Creative Edge says it may also mean that you're really nervous. Yeah, it also shows a lack of confidence. Okay, so you really just want to be calm, confident here. Imagine that you're speaking with your grandmother or your grandfather. They're not here to judge you. You just want to speak nice and clearly. Okay. All right, so next question. What is your full name? Give me a nice answer for this one. So what is your full name? Sobrato, when you're practicing, instead of saying my name is X and Y and so on, try to just make up a name like John Smith. So students, use your imagination. Don't say things like X and Y. Don't say my name is something first, something second, and then it's not real communication. So even when you're doing pretend communication, you don't want to give your real name in the practice. You should create an imaginary name, not just an X or Y, okay? So try to be realistic when you're making up information in your IELTS speaking, okay? All right. So we've got Goulet Abbasli. Goulet Abbasli says, my full name is Goulet Abbasli. You can call me Goulet. It's interesting that a lot of people go with this, you can call me. I taught this last week and I wonder how many people remember this. So instead of saying you can call me, what should you say? It's just it's a small detail, but as the saying goes, the devil's in the details. So paying attention to these details really can help to bump up your score. And Goulet says, my full name is Goulet Abbasli. You can call me Goulet. It's an okay answer. It's not the end of the world. You could still get a great score in your IELTS speaking as long as you do really well. But instead of saying you can call me Goulet, Jose Lewis says, please call me. Yeah, so it would be better to say, please call me Goulet. Why? Okay, why is it better? And for natural native English, you definitely want to know this difference. So why? My full name is Goulet Abbasli. You can call me Goulet. It's better to say my full name is Goulet Abbasli. Please call me Goulet. And I would even make this a slightly better. I would say please call me by my given name, Goulet. Okay, that would be the best answer possible there. Okay, remember what I said. You can call me means you're giving permission. Gives permission, okay? So it's like you're giving permission to the examiner, like I will allow you to call me Goulet. When we're speaking with someone in a position of authority, like a judge, for example, or the head of a company, we generally don't give them permission. We request for them, okay? So please call me means that you are requesting. Okay, and that's an important difference. So I personally would not say you can call me to somebody who is examining me. Okay, it's just more natural to say please call me. All right, so keep that in mind, students. Okay, and then the examiner will say, okay, I will ask you some more questions to get to know you a bit better and some questions on a general topic. Do you work or study? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this question. Do you work or study? Be fluent. Be creative. If you are in an IELTS exam, you're definitely studying, hopefully, because if nothing else, you are studying for the IELTS exam. Okay. Marco Margarita says, this is Marco Margarita. Here, let's grab your name, Marco. Let's do that again. Okay. So Marco Margarita says, I'm currently a strategic management student at the University of Salerno. I've always been interested in management, so I really like to study this field. Okay. Good. Now, Marco, let's make this a little bit better. Okay, so You could say this. So you could say, although I am not working at the moment, I'm currently a strategic management student at the University of Salerno because, let's join that, because I've always been interested in management, so I really like to study this field. Okay, so let me show you, Marco, the logic here. Okay, so although I'm not working at the moment, so that clearly answers the work part of the question, right? There, although I'm not working at the moment. And then I'm currently a strategic management student at the University of Salerno because, very important, this linking word, it shows that you're giving me the reason, because I've always been interested in management. Okay, and then I'm going to take out this, so I really like to study this field because it's repetitive. Okay, you want to stay away from repetitive information. So to get those high band scores like band 7, 8, 9, you really have to use great communication at every level. Okay, so although, again, repeat, Marco, repeat, everybody repeat. Although I'm not working at the moment, I'm currently a strategic management student at the University of Salerno because I've always been interested in management. And instead of management, because you're saying management twice, like you say management here and you say management here, what other word could Marco use here instead of management? So instead of this word management, what other word could Marco use to make his speech, his coherence, his lexical resource, vocabulary mark, even better? So because I've always been interested in, Alexander says business. Yeah, that's okay. Zhaolin says financials. Okay. What is a manager? So think quick. A lot of you know this. When you're paraphrasing, because that's what we're looking at here, you're looking at paraphrasing. There are different ways. One is synonym, and another one is descriptive. Okay, descriptive paraphrasing is important. That's where you describe the word using other words. So how would you describe the word management? Yanni says in supervision. Yeah, that's okay. Anindra says supply chain systems. Yeah, Shniha Bishna is very good. Leadership. Yeah, leadership. Okay, so a management is a leader, and it's leadership. And now if I want to be super clever, I can also say, because it's strategic management. So another way to say strategic management would be effective leadership, right? And that's how you score those really high points on the IELTS exam, is by thinking quickly and using this descriptive paraphrasing, okay? So remember that. Descriptive paraphrasing is extremely useful in your communication and for your IELTS score. So you want to practice that descriptive paraphrasing. Okay, now take a look at Marco's answer. Although I'm not working at the moment, I'm currently a strategic management student at the University of Salerno because I've always been interested in effective leadership. How good is that? Do that and you'll get some band 8s, band 9s, no problem. All right. Okay, students, I see some other great answers. Let's move along. You will have a chance shortly to volunteer and speak with me so that I can give you feedback and a score estimate in real time. Before we do that, let's do one more question here before we get into the volunteering. So, what do you like about your work or school? Give me a nice full sentence. Again, remember the strategy or the tip from the start of class. Use the question in your answer. So what do you like about your work or school? Okay, give me a nice full sentence answer for this one using the question. All right, here's Fuang, our member. Looking like a good answer at first glance. Okay. Fuang says, well, actually, I love my major, business. Well, actually, and here, so Fuang, use the question, okay? Okay, so, well, actually, regarding my school, okay, so even just this part regarding my school, Fuang is paraphrasing the work or school part, okay? So, well, actually, regarding my school, I love my major, business. You know, becoming an entrepreneur is high risk, high reward. I can make millions or I can make nothing at all. But at the end of the day, okay, I'm guessing there's a missing part here. But at the end of the day, let's see where the rest of that is, Fuang. I'm looking for it, but I can't seem to find it. Okay, but at the end of the day, something. Okay, you have to finish that, Fuang. This part here, the you know, it's not good. And students use this you know. Take this out of your communication. Why? So why should you take the you know out of your communication? Instead of you know, I would write even though. Okay. So I would replace that with even though. So why do I say take this you know out of your communication? And a lot of students do this. A lot of students say you know, or to be honest. Take out these you knows and to be honest. Okay. Avoid using you know and avoid using to be honest. Okay, why? Why do I say that? And look at all of you using that. I mean, I just look at the chat and I can see 4 or 5 different people using these. So clearly there's something wrong here. Why? And here's the end of what Fuang just said. Okay. So why should you not use you know and to be honest? Yeah, Akira says he might not know that, and it makes your listener feel awkward. Okay, so right, your listener might not know, and it will make them feel awkward. It's not considered, this is considered unprofessional communication. So both of these expressions, they're called leading expressions. Both of these leading expressions are considered unprofessional communication. Okay, so saying you know is considered unprofessional, and saying to be honest is considered unprofessional. Okay, so don't use them. All right, a band 9 level speaker, or even a band 8 level speaker, somebody who's very good or expert, knows that this is unprofessional. Okay, so your listener might not know, and it might make them feel awkward. Also, there is no need for you to be honest or dishonest on IELTS. So using to be honest doesn't make sense. And is an awkward filler. Okay. Even saying like or instead, a natural filler is better than saying to be honest. It's just weird. It's like, why would you not be honest, or why do I care if you're honest, right? If I'm the examiner. Okay, so don't use those, all right? So Fuang, the better way to say this is, well, actually, regarding my school, I love my major, even though becoming an entrepreneur is high risk and high reward. Meaning I can make millions or I can make nothing at all. At the end of the day, I want to challenge myself with lots of opportunities. Okay, so that is the way that that question would sound like a band 9. Okay, let's try that again. So this is Fuang's answer. The question is, what do you like about your work or school? And a band 9 sample answer is, well, actually, regarding my school, I love my major, business, even though becoming an entrepreneur is high risk and high reward, meaning I can make or lose millions. At the end of the day, I want to challenge myself with lots of opportunities. Okay, all right, good. So take out those you knows and to be honest. Okay, they weaken communication. All right. Okay, students, and then the examiner will say, okay, let's talk about working or studying at home, which many of us have been doing over the past few years. Now, to go over the rest of these part 1 questions, I will actually ask for some volunteers for speaking. And let me show you how to do that, okay? So to volunteer for speaking, go to our website, aehelp.com. This is absolutely free, 100% free, no tricks, no gimmicks, okay? We want you to improve here. So if you don't have a My Student account, you can create one for free, okay? If you want to buy the premium version of the course, completely up to you. Of course it's worth it, but I'm not going to tell you it's the only way to speak with me, okay? Then you click on Student Partner Speaking in your My Student account. Make sure that your microphone is working in your browser, okay? And then you will see me in the list as master. I'm not there yet. Just give me a second. And then you will click on I want to volunteer. So let me show you what this is. So let's go to aehelp.com, okay? So the website, again, is aehelp.com. All right, that's the website. All right, now when you're at aehelp.com, you want to click on either this big red button to join the premium package, and if you want to try it for free, it's totally okay. Click this green try demo button. Once you're there, you will get into your My Student account. If you have an account, you have to log in, of course. And then you have all your computer-based practice exams, interactive course, and many, many more materials. And then you also have this Student Partner Speaking. That's just right above my head. That's what we're going to use. If you want to book a full IELTS practice speaking interview with me, you can do that by clicking the yellow button. That's a paid service, and then we arrange a time to have a practice interview. You should use that well before your IELTS exam, so you know where to make corrections, I should say. And then if you see this red button, you can even book your at-home IELTS exam from your My Student account. If you don't see it, it's because it's not available in your country, okay? All right, and you can also download the app with that QR code that's behind the chair there. Okay, so let's click on this Student Partner Speaking. And once you're in the Student Partner Speaking, then you will see lots of people. Whew, great list today. Varu, Lola, Shushant, Prince, Riyadh, Yash, Manshi. Lots of people in here today. So you want to click on the blue envelope, and that's beside Master. So when you see Master, click on you'll see me as Master, Okay, like that. That'll be like that. So click on the blue envelope and then just say, I want to volunteer, and then I can connect with you. Okay. All right. Shushant, let's see if Shushant is here. Shushant, are you ready? Shushant has sent me a message. Let me just put on my ears. And everybody will hear the question, the answer. What's really important is that you listen and repeat. So, Shushant, are you ready to go here? Okay. Shushant says yes. Here we go.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Shushant. How are you?
Hello, sir. I am good. And what about you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. Shushant, where are you calling from?
I am from the capital of Nepal, Kathmandu.
Kathmandu. It's my favorite city name in the world. It just sounds so awesome. Kathmandu. All right. And Shushant, why are you taking the IELTS exam?
Recently, I have finished my higher level education and I want to pursue my further study in abroad. That's why I'm planning to do my IELTS exam, and it's in November 19.
Okay, good. So you have a few weeks. You're studying hard. Good for you, Shushant. All right, Shushant, mute YouTube. So make sure YouTube is muted, just so we don't get double audio. And then I'll ask you some questions. Here we go. So I'm going to just ask you some questions, Shushant. Give me some nice full sentence answers. And like I said at the beginning of the class, use the question in your answer to guide your answer. Okay, so here we go. Welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner. May I see your identification, please?
Yes. This is my passport, which I have used for registration of my IELTS exam. Please take a look at it.
What is your full name?
My full name is Sushant Rizal, and please address me by my first name, Sushant.
Okay, Shushant. Let's talk about working or studying at home. How often do you work at home?
Uh, I am a elder son of my family. That's why I have many responsibility to do work, and yeah, I generally do a lots of work of my home. And
How often do you study at home?
being a student, I have to study a lot. I used to study books which are other than academic, like fiction and love story, romance. That type of books I generally read at my home.
All right, let's take a look at your answers so far. I'll give you a band score estimate and then we'll go from there. So your band score right now, just for these first few questions, is about a band 5.5, maybe 6. You have some pretty good fluency. You have fairly good vocabulary. Your pronunciation is, let's say 80% clear to me. So about there's about a 10-20% of words that I don't get 100% when you're saying them. So make sure that you focus on clear pronunciation. One way, Shushant, to do that is speak a little bit slower. You don't have to speak so fast. You have fairly good fluency. Now, we need to work a little bit on the accuracy of your answers. I think that your score can go up very quickly if you make your answers a little bit better, okay? All right, so let me explain that to you, and pay attention, everybody, because of course this is not just for Shushant, it's for everybody who's listening. Mistakes are often shared. It means that we often make the same mistakes as other people. So here I said, let's talk about working or studying at home, and I said, how often do you work at home? And you said, I couldn't catch that. Did you say the 11th son or the only son?
Eldest son, sir.
Eldest. See, that's what I meant about
Yeah.
pronunciation there. Just pronounce that word for me. Eldest.
Eldest.
Yeah. I am the eldest son, or the eldest. Yeah. I'm the eldest son of my family. And so here, the examiner, and you have to be really careful on the IELTS because sometimes they just interrupt you and go to the next question. What do you think is the problem starting the answer this way? I'm the eldest son of my family.
Sorry, I didn't catch you.
Yeah, so why do you think it's a problem to start the answer this way? I am the eldest son of my family.
Because I want to elaborate it, and being a eldest son, you have a high responsibility to do work. That's why I think.
Yeah, it doesn't answer the question directly, right? So it's very important, especially on the IELTS, because you're talking with a stranger. They have no idea how much you understand or don't understand, so you must answer directly. Okay? Now, that means that you want to, for the most part, especially in the beginning, you want to follow this pattern, okay? So follow this pattern. Answer, let's do it this way. Answer, then explanation, then example, okay? Sometimes people do this where they do the explanation first. So you started with the explanation, but I don't know that it's the explanation because I'm a stranger. So that's the problem there, okay? So instead of doing it this way, start with the answer. So I do a lot of work at home because I am the eldest son in my family. So I have a lot of responsibilities to take care of my siblings and the house. Do you see the difference? So I switched the explanation and the answer around. Now the examiner hears the answer first, so they go, oh, okay, he understood the question. That's, you always want the examiner to think, oh, okay, they understood the question. If the examiner thinks maybe they don't understand the question, they might interrupt you, especially if they have a very busy day with lots of candidates. Do you get what I'm saying here, Shishant?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so switch the answer to the start of the sentence. Now, there's another good strategy to use here to make this answer even better. Okay, what is a lot of work? Shushant, what does that mean for you? So what does it mean that you do a lot of work at home?
Okay, there I have to take care of my family, and I generally live in a remote area of the Kathmandu, and we have to do farming. And in, as you know, that farming is not easy. And
Okay, wait. So let's slow down. I don't know that. Okay. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know it, right? So be careful. Remember, I said that earlier. Don't say that as you know or you know. I'm not a farmer, so I don't know how much technology is helping, how difficult it is. I'm sure it's challenging, but you can't assume that I know that, right? When you say a lot of work, try to give a number. So how many hours of work do you do, Shushant, each day?
minimum 5
Okay.
hours.
What's the maximum?
It goes up to 8 hours.
Okay. So I do a lot of work at home, 5 to 8 hours a day, because I'm the eldest son in my family and I have a lot of responsibilities to take care of my siblings and the house and help with farm work. That's your band 9 answer. Okay, Shushan? So let me
Yes.
try this one more time here and give me this nice full answer, okay? I'm going to say it first, wait for me, and then copy after. So how often do you work at home? I do a lot of work at home, 5 to 8 hours each day, because I am the eldest son in my family, so I have a lot of responsibilities to take care of my siblings, the house, and help with farm work. How
Okay.
often do you work at
I
home?
I do a lot of work at home, 5 to 8 hours each day, because I am the eldest son in my family. So I have a lot of responsibility to take care of my sibling and the house and help with homework.
Yeah. Farm. Farm.
Farm.
Yeah.
Farm.
Strong R. Farm. Okay, good. All right, so
Okay.
that's what you want to practice. So focus on a bit of pronunciation practice, especially with the sounds where you know you have a bit of difficulty, okay? And make sure you stick to the answer, explain, example, especially for the first like 4 or 5 questions in the exam until the examiner is sure that you have a good understanding of the questions, okay? Once they know that you understand the questions clearly, you can maybe do it a little bit differently, but for the IELTS, I suggest to people to just stay with answer, explain, example, okay?
Okay.
All right, Shushant, keep up the good work. That was really good. You're my first volunteer this week, so 2 thumbs up, all right? Keep it up.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye, Shushant. All right, that was Shushant. Give Shushant a thumbs up. He was the first one. I could hear that he was a little bit nervous, right? So let's give him a thumbs up. Yes, Bhupesh, we are live right now. Bhupesh Kumar is saying, is this a live recording? Yes, it is. All right. Good job. Thank you, Creative Edge, Carolina, Zalin, for all the support and the thumbs up. That's fantastic. Okay. Very nice. All right, we've got Munchie here with us today. Let's reach out to Munchie, see if Munchie is ready to volunteer. Munchie, are you ready? We've got lots of time left in the class, students, so I'll be able to take some volunteers. Okay, here's Munchie. Let's do this. Hi, Munchie.
Are you able to hear me?
Loud and clear, Munchie. I can hear you well. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. Munchie, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Bangalore, Karnataka. It's a state in India.
Okay, nice answer. Good detail. Munchie, did you book an IELTS practice speaking
Yeah.
interview with me? You did. I thought I recognized the name. I'm like, I think Munchie has. You have that coming up in, I think, an hour and a half,
Next
right?
1 hour, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. Cool. So you thought you'd get in for some pre-interview practice, right?
Yeah, I'm getting in the zone, like.
Good for you. Good for you. All right, Munchie. And why are you taking the IELTS exam?
I want to pursue my master's in US. So,
Okay, in what field?
in IT,
In IT.
related to languages, computer
Wow.
languages.
Okay. Got you. All right. Okay, Munchie. Well, let's get into this. So let's get you warmed up for your speaking interview in a little bit. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So here we go. Welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner. May I see your identification?
Yeah, sure. Here it is. This is my government passport.
Let's talk about working or studying at home. How often do you work at home?
Currently, because of Corona, we are doing work from home. So I am usually my working hours is 9 hours. So I work from home only
How
from
often do you
past 2 years.
how often do you study at home?
I usually study in weekends because weekdays I'm working. So on weekends, I try to study at least 10 hours a day.
Do you like working or studying at home?
Yeah, it is pretty convenient because I have my own room. So I actually like working at my home. The environment is peaceful here, and it like I have my own space.
Okay, good. So I will assess these questions. You're doing good. Okay, so right away, your level is, I would say, about a band 6.5 for sure, going towards a band 7. Okay. maybe more. We'll find that out later today when we do the full interview. Okay, Munchie.
Yeah.
So again, and I think somebody asked this in the chat, like, do we get marked for each question? They kind of do mark you for each question, but of course they're looking at your whole interview, right? So marks, the way it usually goes is marks generally start high. So you start with a perfect band 9, and then by the end of part 3, depending on how many mistakes you make, the score kind of goes down. So you want to start really high, right? Okay, you have some good skills, Munchie. So, I said, how often do you study at home? And you said, I usually study on the weekends because during the weekdays I'm working. I couldn't write all of it down, but I remember it. I'm working. And then you said, I study about 10 hours a day. Okay. And that was really good. You're using numbers. Numbers, students, are really good. Usually candidates don't use them enough. You should find at least 4 or 5 different places during the interview where you can use numbers to help you clarify information. Okay, numbers, especially for strangers that don't know you, can really help to improve coherence, okay, your coherence score, and that's the most important score. Okay, now one missing piece, Munchie, from your answers is just a little bit more detail on what you're actually doing. So I usually study on the weekends because weekdays I'm working. I study about 10 hours a day. What do you study?
I'm preparing for IELTS and GRE, so I study quants and verbal reasoning.
Verbal reasoning for GRE, yeah. GRE, by the way, students, is the graduate requirement examination that's needed in several countries for master's or PhD. So I'm preparing for IELTS and GRE. Just yesterday I was studying verbal reasoning for the GRE. Okay, so just that little bit of extra detail will create that added fluency, coherence, and your lexical resource. So see, as soon as you say, I'm preparing for IELTS and GRE, now I know that you know the word GRE. You know the acronym for the graduate requirement exam, okay? And verbal reasoning is a nice collocation, so I can give you more band scores. Do you see how that all comes together with that added detail?
Yeah.
Okay, and then stop there, right? So here we go. Let me just repeat this and then copy after me. So how often do you study at home? I usually study on the weekends because weekdays I'm working. I study about 10 hours a day in my room, and I'm preparing for the IELTS and GRE. Just yesterday I was studying verbal reasoning for the GRE. How often do you study at home?
I usually study on weekends because weekdays I'm working. I study about 10 hours a day in my room. I'm preparing for IELTS and GRE. Just yesterday I was studying verbal reasoning for the GRE.
That's an easy band 8 to 9, okay, if you're going like that. So really nice fluency. And notice how I added that in my room part. Why did I add the in my room part?
To add extra detail.
But why? Why that? Why specifically the in my room?
Because previously they asked work from home thing.
Exactly, and this one is study at home, right? So you always want to reflect clearly the question. That's a very important part of those high band scores, is that you have a really clear reflection of the specific question. That also shows the examiner that you're not just trying to memorize answers for the IELTS and give it to whatever kind of topic they pick, okay? Munchie, I'm really looking forward to our interview in about an hour to hear your full range of speaking. So hang in there, keep repeating and copying, and then we'll talk a bit more in about an hour, okay?
Thank you. I'm really nervous, but I'll try to manage myself and be calm.
You don't need to be nervous, Munchie. So it'll be all good. Plus, I will record the interview so you can use it for studying later, okay? The one that we do, all right?
Okay.
All right. Bye, Munchie.
Bye. Thank you.
All right, Munchie. That was good. Looking forward to that interview. Yeah, Munchie booked an interview with this orange button that's just above my head there, I think 2 days ago, maybe. And you can do the same. Just click that yellow button to book a speaking interview with me. Okay. Thumbs up, Manshi. Yes, great. Thank you, Fuang, and everybody for that support. That's fantastic. Okay, so let's see who else is in here. Let's take somebody kind of from the bottom. You know, I always think people from the bottom, they think, well, they'll never get picked. And we just had a very late comer here, Richard Angelo's son. Let's see if Richard Angelo's son is ready. Richard, are you ready for a couple of questions? And we'll move through all of these questions. Again, students, make sure to pay attention to the strategies, my repetition. Make sure to copy what I'm saying as well. Richard says, yes, I am. Awesome, Richard. Okay. Here we go. Richard, it sounds like you picked up, but I don't quite hear you yet. Make sure that you enabled your microphone and speakers on your browser for the website. Make sure you don't have any software blocking the communication, or you're not using the speaker microphone for any other function on your phone or your computer at the same time, okay? One really good tip, everybody, to make this go smoothly is when you log in to your account, test the system with another student. Okay, so test it with somebody else who's in here and just say, hey, can we check it out? Make sure it's working. Okay, so I'll try to answer you, Richard, but let me call you, okay? Richard, are you there? Yeah, there's no point in calling me back, students. Again, what I recommend, Richard, that you do is call somebody else or chat with somebody else and make sure it's working so we can keep the class going smoothly, okay? I'll take somebody else from the bottom here. Let's take Herjot. I think Herjot was pretty quick there after Richard. So Herjot, are you ready? We've got time, students, so we'll have definitely a few more volunteers coming up for you here for the rest of speaking part 1 questions. Harjot, if you're there, give me a sign. Again, students, test this system, talk to, and it's not, remember, students, this student partner speaking is called student partner speaking because we encourage you to practice your speaking with other students, right? So, all right. Nice long list. All right. Hi, Harjot.
Hi, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
I am doing great. Harjot, you can move off the microphone just a little bit because you're actually quite loud. So just a little bit back from the microphone. I'm doing good. Harjot, where are you calling from?
I'm from Punjab, India.
From Punjab. And why are you taking the IELTS exam?
I have recently passed my senior secondary and now I want to pursue my study in abroad. So that's why I decided to take IELTS.
Okay, good. Do you have any idea of what country you want to go study?
Yeah, Canada.
Oh, awesome. It's a great country, I can tell you. I live here. So, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Harjot, let me ask a couple questions from you. Are you ready?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, here we go. Do you like working or studying at home?
Yeah, of course. I like study at home because whenever I feel tired during the study, I take some nap and after some rest, I continue my study.
If you are not studying or working at home, where do you go to do these?
I will go to my IELTS institute because I regularly go there for IELTS preparation, and it's a second place where I prefer to do my study.
What are the difficulties of working or studying at home?
Mm, eh, it's a hard question for me. Let me think. Mm, if I, according to me, if whenever I do study at home, some childrens and my parents
How has working from home, okay, and this is where the examiner will kind of interrupt you. When you get stuck and you get stuck for a few seconds and you really just don't say anything, then the examiner will interrupt and then they'll keep going. Okay, so Harjot, band score. That band would be about a band 5. Okay. So
Okay.
far. One reason, band 6 means fluent English. So it means that you can talk, finish your answer without really stopping. And you're stopping. So when you give me your answer, you give good answers, but you stop to think about your answer. You stop to think about the English that you need to use. So you get kind of stuck, and because of that, your score starts to go down, down, down. Fluency strongly affects coherence if you're not able to finish your answers, right?
Okay, sir.
Let's just take a look at this last one. So what are difficulties of working? We can make it the... what are the difficulties of working or studying at home? And you said, it's a hard question for me. Let me think. You can say, I wouldn't say it's a hard question. I would say, because it's not really a hard question. Instead, I would say it's an interesting question. Or it's a
Okay, sir.
or it's a good question, because a lot of people are doing this working from home, right? So it's a good question for me because I do a lot of study and work from home. Remember what I said at the beginning, Harjot, is use the question. And not only you, but actually Munshi and the last couple people also didn't really use the question effectively in their answers. I noticed that. So this is a tip again for everybody. It's easy to think about this, but it's harder to do. So you have to practice it. Okay. So use the question in your answer. So it's a good question for me because I do a lot of study and work from home. Let me think. What's another way to say the difficulties of working or studying at home? How can you say that in another way? Can you paraphrase that for me, Harjot?
Yes, sir.
The difficulties. What's another way to say the difficulties?
I don't know, sir.
Challenges. Challenge for difficulty. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So you could say, instead of saying according to me is a bit awkward in such a simple type question. So the challenges to do study or work at home, especially for me, okay,
Sir.
is being... And then here's the word that I think you were trying to think of, and maybe, yeah, and Raquiya Rani in the chat is saying you could have also said problems, so the problems instead of difficulties. So challenges or problems working at home, or the issues, Marco says, or Yanni says the struggles, those are also good, or the Mahi says the obstacles. So there are definitely a few different ways to paraphrase difficulties, okay? So let's stick with the challenges. The challenges is a good one. So the challenges to do study at home, especially for me, is being, what's the word that you're missing here? It starts with a D. So your parents and the children, and I think I know what you want to say, but I can't say it for you. I'm the examiner. It starts with a D, and the next letter is an I, and the third letter is an S. And the fourth one, it might help you, is a T.
Distract.
That's right. Yes, distractions. Or being distracted by some children and my parents. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. And then you can give a smooth example. Yesterday, I was reading a book and my siblings were screaming the whole time. Okay. So just to really make that visual point there, right?
Okay, sir.
All right, so here we go. Let's try this, okay? So I'm going to repeat your answer and then I want you to copy me, okay? So, what
Okay,
are
sir.
the difficulties of working or studying at home? It's a good question for me because I do a lot of study and work from home. Let me think. The challenges to study at home, especially for me, is being distracted by some children and my parents. Yesterday, I was reading a book and my siblings were screaming the whole time. What are the difficulties of working or studying at home?
It is a good question for me because I do a lot of study and work from home. Let me think. Uh, the challenges to do study at home, especially for me, is being distracted by some children and my parents. Yesterday, I was reading a book and my siblings were screaming the whole time.
Okay, that's what you want to do, and you want to build fluency. So lots of fluency practice. Okay, Harjot?
Okay, sir.
All right, thank you so much for volunteering. Keep up the practice, and those scores will improve. Remember, one way to build that fluency is use the question in your answer. Paraphrase it, okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. See you again, Harjot. Bye for now. All right, that was Harjot. That was great. Thumbs up to Harjot, everybody. That was good. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't matter if you're a band 4, 5, 7, 9. Use your English, practice, prepare for the exam. Okay, let's take somebody kind of from the middle of the pack here. Let's take Lou. I think Lou is new here, so let's see if Lou is ready. Are you ready, Lou? All right, Lou, if you are with us, let me know. Give me a sign. Thank you for all the thumbs up, members and everybody. Okay. Sneha, I'm not adding people. I'm just selecting people. You add yourself by going to the website and registering. Okay. Lou, if you're still here with us, let me know. Give me a sign. Say, yes, I'm ready, or pick me, or or I'm here. Something to know that you're still here. That's why I always message you first, students, because I'm not sure if you hung around or if you had to take off to go to class or got hungry and made yourself a sandwich. So let's see if Lou is still here. Lou? Okay. Not so much. Let's try BK. BK, are you ready? Okay. BK, if you're there, let me know. Send me a sign in the chat on the website. Say yes, ready to go. Okay, pay attention, students. I'm just randomly pointing, picking. Okay. Let's give BK a 5 count backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's try Kenjayeva. Kenjayeva is here. I can see that, Kenjayeva. I'm trying to pick a first timer. Are you ready? So I'm trying to pick an unfamiliar name. And Kenjayeva says, it's my first time. Yes, I haven't seen your name yet, Kenjayeva, not to my best recollection. So Kenjayeva, if you are here, give me a sign, or if you are still here, give me a sign. Let me know. Say yes. Oh, I hope yes. All right. Kenjayeva, here we go.
Hello.
Hi, Kenjayeva. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. What about you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking me back. Kenjayeva, where are you calling from?
Well, I'm from Uzbekistan.
Okay, Uzbekistan. Are you from Tashkent?
Yes.
I always guess the cat. It's like a 50-50 if I guess Tashkent, so I always guess Tashkent. Okay, Kenjayeva, and why are you doing the IELTS exam?
Because it helps me to enter the university, so.
Okay. Within Uzbekistan or abroad?
Yeah, Uzbekistan, since I'm only child and in my family, so that's why my parents won't allow me to study abroad.
Oh, interesting. They want to keep you close to home. Yeah, I know the
Yeah.
feeling. I've got a couple of daughters, and but if they must, I'll let them go.
Yeah, my parents always say, "How you could leave me?"
Yeah, I can empathize. All right, Kenjayeva. Well, let me ask you a few questions and help you with your speaking section for the IELTS. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. If you are not studying or working at home, where do you go to do these?
Well, actually, I prefer to study at home, but if I won't have a chance, that I will go to my study center, because there are a lot of teachers that might help me if I have a problem.
How has working from home changed in the past 30 years?
I think it has changed quite a lot, and in the past there weren't a lot of opportunities to study at home. I mean, nowadays, even if you don't have any experience, you can just search on Google and find informations.
If you could improve one part of working or studying at home, what would it be?
Let's say it would be about studying at home with teachers. Like right now, we are talking online, and I think it will help people to improve their confidence.
That is the end of part 1. Now we will continue with part 2. For this part, I will show you a card. Okay, but don't worry about it. I won't do that. I won't show you a card. I'm just going to give you some feedback on these questions, okay? We'll have part 2 and part 3 on Saturday. But for now, let's talk about your answers a little bit. Okay, not bad. You have good English, you have good fluency, good clarity, good pronunciation. You have some fairly good answers. I would say that your band score based on grammatical range and accuracy, lexical resource, is about a band 7 to 7.5. Okay, so you're definitely in that good, moving towards the very good range of English. So band 7 means that you're a good user of the English language, okay? All right, I think you can do better. So I think with some practice, I think you can easily get as high as a band 8. You just have to change your content slightly, okay? So this first question that I asked you, if you are not studying or working at home, where do you go? And then you said, well, actually, I prefer to study at home. What's wrong with that? So why would I tell you that? No, you shouldn't start that way. So don't start this way. Well, actually, I prefer to study at home. Why is that not a good start? What do you think?
Yes. In question we have if not at home, so
Yeah, you're literally like, boom. So yeah, if I had to guess, I would guess that your sign is a Taurus, the bull, because you're smashing into me. So you're putting your head down and you're going, but I want to study at home. So you don't want to contradict the question. Okay, that's a really bad start, and some examiners will just interrupt you. They'll just go, okay, what are the difficulties of working or studying? So they'll right away just interrupt because they're like, okay, they're answering opposite to the question. So they won't be patient enough to wait for your actual answer, some of them. Okay, so you never want to start opposite to the question. It's awkward and it's definitely off topic. What should you do instead? How should you start the question?
maybe I just should start. If not at home, I would go somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So start with that question, right? So this is why I keep saying use the question in your answers. So if I won't have the chance, or if I won't have a chance to do my homework, or if I won't have a chance to do my work at home, I don't want to say homework because that's at home. So if I won't have a chance to do my work at home, I will go to the study center because there are lots of teachers who can help answer questions. Difficult questions. How far is the study center from your home? Where is it?
It's about 30 minutes away from my home.
Yeah, add those little pieces, add those little details, okay? So I will go to the study center about 30 minutes on foot from my home because there are lots of teachers who can help answer difficult questions. Okay, and then you have a much more accurate, clear answer there, right? Just repeat this after me. So if I won't have a chance to do my work at home, I will go to the study center about 30 minutes on foot from my home because there are lots of teachers who can help me with difficult questions.
If I won't have a chance to do my work at home, I will go to the study center about 30 minutes on foot from my home because there are a lot of teachers who can help answer difficult questions.
Okay, much better, much more accurate, much more direct. On the IELTS, the examiners really just want these very clear, direct answers, explanations, and then some examples to the questions. Okay? So that was good. Make sure that if you don't have an answer, if you're not sure what you are going to say, then you have good fluency. So you need to give yourself a little bit of time to come up with an answer, right? So when I said, if you could improve one part of working at home, what would it be? And then you said, let's say it would be studying at home, studying with teachers. Right now we're studying online. And I was honestly thinking, what are you saying? Like, what are you actually trying to, like, I understand your English, but I have no idea what you're actually trying to tell me. So again,
online course, improving online course. So.
Okay, start with the question. Given the chance to make learning at home better, I would improve the courses. I would make them more interactive, like having the opportunity to video chat with teachers and students. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So, but if you don't know, buy some time. Say, okay, that's an interesting question. Give me a second to think, and then wait a few seconds and really visualize it, right? I would improve the internet connection. Sometimes it's really hard to follow the class because the internet is so bad, especially on my mobile phone, right? So think about, what happens, what are the problems, right? Okay.
Right.
All right, let's try this one as well. So given the chance to make learning at home better, I would improve the courses. I would make them more interactive, like having opportunities to video chat with teachers and students. If you could improve one part of working or studying at home, what would it be?
Sir, I can see the answer clearly.
Do it
It's
from memory.
behind you, so that's
Yeah,
why I can.
just do it from content. Do it from memory. You don't have to read.
All right. Given the chance to make learning at home better, I would improve the courses. I would make them more interactive, like having the opportunity to video chat with teachers and students.
Okay, and that brings me to my final point. Somebody at your level of English should not be repeating verbatim. So when you're doing repetition work with me or your other teachers or with fellow students, focus on content, not the verbatim repetition. So that means don't focus on trying to repeat word by word. Focus more on what you actually need to say, okay?
All right.
It'll be much more effective. All right. Thank you so much for volunteering, Kenjayeva, and hopefully we'll see you again in the class in the future.
Yeah, sure. So, and my overall score is 7 or?
Yeah, it's definitely an easy 7, maybe 7.5. Okay. But if you make those improvements that I just showed you, I think you can be as high as an 8. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. You're very welcome. Bye for now. All right, that was Kenjayeva. Give some thumbs up there. That was really good. Students, I have run out of time, but thank you to all of my volunteers today. And don't forget, we will have 2 classes tomorrow. It will be reading and listening. And the reading class will be for members. The listening class will be for subscribers. So make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And then we'll have speaking part 2, speaking part 3 on Saturday. So lots more help coming up. And don't forget, aehelp.com for academic IELTS, gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. These are the websites we use in these live classes every single day to interact with our students. It's a really good idea to spend a few dollars and get access to all of the materials so you can maximize your learning for the classes, especially if you plan to come regularly. And you can use that code MARK9 for that 10% discount. Carolina, thank you so much for moderating. I saw that there was a bit of spamminess going on in the chat, and I saw you answered a few questions for everybody. So thumbs up to Carolina, everybody. Give her a thumbs up. She's doing a great job helping to run these live classes smoothly. Thank you to our members and to all of our viewers. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from beautiful Victoria here in Canada for now. I look forward to teaching you tomorrow. Until then, much love to all of you wherever you are in our big, beautiful world. Goodbye.